Hi everyone, this is Crypto Layman here. Today I want to talk to you about a new project to the market that has been gaining a lot of traction lately, and I certainly have, heard people speak about it in my friend circle and in the work circle as well. People are constantly talking about how amazing this SafeMoon Coin is and how they're all investing in it, and how they're recommending that people look into it and invest their money in it. And I honestly didn't know what the SafeMoon protocol was. So this is going approximately 1 week back. I tried to look it on the CoinMarketCap app, and I couldn't really find anything there. So I have now decided to sort of look into the project a little bit more. I've Googled their website, and this is the website. It's called SafeMoon.net. And I'm just going to sort of go through the website with you and discuss what I find there. And I've looked at the website previously, and I have found nothing really solid to support the project besides the very limited information that they claim on the website. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the token economics. But before I jump into that, I'm just going to give you some little stats. So this is the SafeMoon coin value. It's way below $1. They say that they have almost 1.3 million holders of SafeMoon. They have got some 232 million US dollars in terms of liquidity, and there is some sort of their market cap is surprisingly over 3 billion US dollars. And then they give you a figure that they're saying that they have burnt 410,508 trillion SafeMoon coins. So, and what on the main website, what you can see is that they're saying that they are 100% community driven. All the developers' tokens were burnt, and all the developers then participated in a fair launch with everybody else, and it basically says that there is a automatic sort of mechanism in place, or a contract in place, that automatically swaps some of the liquidity into Pancake Swap and locks it in there, and then that's their main USP, or unique selling point, which is that holders earn passive rewards by holding SafeMoon as it grows indefinitely. So then they discuss their roadmap. We'll come back to the roadmap very shortly. But first of all, I want to look at what this whole thing is all about. So in order to do that, the best way you can do it is to look at the white paper. So if I click on the white paper, it doesn't actually give me a PDF like all the other projects I've looked into. It just lists the white paper on one single web page. So it's not good. I've read through it already. So what it does is it basically says the common misconception, what the SafeMoon protocol is, and it basically tries to sort of in a roundabout way address what they're trying to do. Is essentially what they're trying to do is they seem to think that it's safer to have static rewards, which is, as I said, their main USP. Compared to like farming yields that you do in a lot of decentralized finance applications or platforms at the moment. So then they go on about the burning mechanism of tokens. So some burns matter, some don't. A continuous burn on a protocol can be nice in early days. However, this means that the burn cannot be finite or controlled in any way. Having burns controlled by the team and promoted based on achievements helps to keep the community rewarded and informed. I don't really understand what they're trying to really say here. So it says manual burns, but what exactly are they burning? I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't really give that away. So furthermore, the total number of SafeMoon burned is featured on our readout located on the website, which allows for further transparency, but it doesn't really talk about how it's burnt. because as you will see here, okay, the developers wallet, they burnt their tokens, which was approximately, this is the total stats. So okay, so total supply of the coin, and this is very important, is 1 quadrillion tokens. So that is a heck of a lot of tokens. And then burnt by the developers is something like 223 trillion. And then the rest were sold on or are being held on the fair launch supply. So these have been burnt already, but how are they further burning these tokens? I'm not entirely sure, because it says up here, as you see, that it's a manual burn, but they don't actually really burn anything, because as you can see here, what the protocol does is 3 simple functions: reflection, LP acquisition, and burn in each trade. Okay, the transaction is taxed at 10% fee, which is split in 2 ways, right? So 5% are redistributed to all existing holders. So that's what they are calling I suppose a static reward, to be honest. And then the remaining 5% is split 50-50, of which 5% is basically 2.5% is sold into BNB, and then the other half of the SafeMoon tokens are paired automatically with the BNB token and added as liquidity, as a liquidity pair on PancakeSwap. So where is the burn there then? I'm not entirely sure what they're talking about, burn in each trade, because they're recycling those tokens. So they are basically distributing 5% of the tokens to everyone who is currently holding tokens, and then the remaining 5% they're actually investing to probably earn some interest or God knows what. So I'm not entirely sure, and I don't think that this is actually then kicked back to the actual holders or users. So this 5% goes into the ether somewhere. They talk about that it's locked in for 4 years. The liquidity is locked in, but the only burn that the actual say or really can be tracked is the developer's burn, and then the LP generated with every trade and locked on Pancake. So as I said, where is the liquidity? And yes, there are a lot of tokens. There's 1 quadrillion tokens, 223 trillion tokens are burnt, but there are still 777 trillion tokens available. So I don't quite understand it. Besides that, anyway, so moving on, I'll come back to those token economics later, and basically summarize what my issue with those is. But then, if you look at the roadmap says protocol has been initialized, so that's fine. So they've basically begun the legal paperwork with Bitmart, and the team size has doubled. So that's amazing. Okay, so quarter 2 of 2021 is the initial push. So it talks about they will be completing an app, a wallet, and some games. And then Bitmart will be integrated, or they will integrate their token economics on Bitmart. Again, how they're going to do that, we don't know. And then they'll begin architecting the NFT exchange. So they're actually launching an NFT, so non-fundable tokens. So these are like digital assets that you can own. So it could be like a digital card. Like if you go back to the old days, where, for those of you who don't know what an NFT is, it's essentially, back in the day people used to collect Pokemon cards, or back in the day people used to collect like baseball cards with baseball players. So, and those became, you had rare cards, and you had some cards that were really quite common. So NFTs are essentially similar to those, but those are NFTs are basically digital assets rather than a physical product. So think of it that way. So it's a bit of a digital asset that you can own on the internet, and it is tradable. And then as well as a video game integration, they talk about launching their own charity in the African markets, but they don't really say about what the charity will be. They talk about launching on Binance. We'll be expanding the team by 35%, established a UK Ireland office, and then they'll be architecting a crypto educational app, as well as onboarding new partners. So holding the line, we'll finish our crypto educational app. This is Q3 of 2021. The charity project, they talk about launching the charity project. Again, they don't actually say what the charity project will be. They talk about how they will expand their reach into the African markets in Q4, and that's how it will go safely to the moon. So, to be perfectly honest, to summarize this whole thing, the white paper is very, very bare bones. It's very sketchy. Token economics are not very well explained, and I know a lot of people will probably give me a lot of heat and a lot of hatred in the comments, and a lot of people won't like it, but I will tell you this as I think it is. It's based on absolutely nothing other than probably marketing. There is absolutely no value that this project is actually bringing to the crypto market. There is no real use case for these tokens. There is a lot of these tokens, yes. There's a lot of hype about it, yes. That's probably why people are making lots of gains, probably several thousand percent. But first of all, the issue I have is, as I said, it's not very well explained. It's very bare bone. There's nothing backing it up. There is no like real project that you can actually see working behind it. So they make promises that they will be, building an NFT exchange. They'll be building a video game, and they will be launching a charity. Yes, but none of that has been launched. There is no actual blueprints available on what these things will be. Is absolutely just promises and nothing else at the moment. They talk about how there's a manual burn every time, but then again, turns out it's not a manual burn. It's actually just half of the 10% fee, which is atrocious to begin with, and which is actually done quite cleverly, because if you have to pay a 10% fee of your holdings when you transact, whether you send them somewhere or whether you sell or buy, so 10% is a huge fee, and that will discourage people from actually moving their tokens or selling them. So people are almost being discouraged from moving their tokens or selling them, and they're being sort of in a sly way encouraged to keep holding onto those tokens. So of course, if you don't sell it, nothing, there is no use case. There's no real world application for these tokens at the moment. It's all up in the ether. I mean, from the fees, 5% is redistributed, and as I said, the remaining 5% is being locked into some DeFi project. Very sketchy, very, very sketchy. But the surprising bit is that because there is a lot of hype and a lot of sort of advertising or word of mouth, they have managed to acquire a market cap of $3.2 billion US. That's almost twice as much as Helium, and Helium has a legitimate product and a legitimate project behind them, where you can actually see the network expanding. Just as an example. But then again, who am I to say something? I mean, if you look at Dogecoin, that started off as a joke with no real world applications, and today it's up there in the top 10 sort of cryptocurrencies in terms of market cap. So I'm not sure what to think of this. I personally wouldn't touch it with a barge pole, but I would encourage that you do your own due diligence and really consider things carefully before you actually invest your hard-earned money into anything that may potentially not have any real-world applications in terms of as a cryptocurrency. So be careful. I hope this is helpful. Again, I do apologize. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an expert, but this is from what I've gathered from just looking at the website as I normally do as a layman. And these are just my own opinions and thoughts. If you differ, if you know something that I've missed out or something that you disagree with, please by all means feel free to leave a comment, and we can have a healthy discussion around it without sort of grabbing each other by the throat. I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much for all your support. If you haven't subscribed already, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Every subscription helps enormously. And also, if you think that I have sort of merit and there is some substance to what I'm saying, please hit the thumbs up icon, and don't forget to hit the bell icon for future videos. Thank you very much. Take care, and I will speak to you soon.